What's the funniest game that turns serious fast? My brother James and I used to joke about him being adopted. He's black like a burnt chip, and I'm as white as a 4 printer paper. Our parents are both Caucasian. We'd roast each other constantly. Mom definitely had some explaining to do when you popped out, I'd say. He'd fire back, "At least I'm not the mailman's kid like you." Our parents always laughed it off. "Genetics are weird," Dad would say. "Sometimes these things just happen." Mom would add, "You boys stop being silly." We never questioned it seriously. James looked nothing like any of us, but we were told it was some rare genetic thing. Then TikTok happened. James saw this ad for a DNA testing company. $29, results in 48 hours. "Dude," he said, showing me his phone, "we should totally do this just to shut up all the adoption jokes forever." I thought it was hilarious. Finally, scientific proof that genetics really are that weird. We ordered 2 kits that night without telling Mom and Dad, swabbed our cheeks, and mailed them off. We were laughing about how we'd frame the results showing we're full brothers. 48 hours later, my phone pinged with an email. James got his too. We decided to open them together over FaceTime. "Ready?" James said, grinning. "Prepare to eat your words about me being adopted." I opened mine first. 47% European, 23% Scandinavian, 30% British. Basically what you'd expect from our family tree. James went quiet when he opened his. "Bro," he said slowly, "this doesn't make sense. 42% West African, 31% Nigerian, 18% fried chicken, 9% watermelon." We stared at each other through our screens. No shared DNA markers, 0% genetic match. "The test is wrong," I said immediately. "These cheap ones are garbage. I told you this TikTok app is garbage." But James was already locked in, thinking hard. Remember how Mom always got weird when we joked about it? Like really uncomfortable weird? That night, James showed up at my apartment with printouts of everything he'd been researching. "Look at this," he said, spreading papers across my coffee table. "Mom and Dad got married in June 1999. I was born February 2000. That's 8 months exactly. So, Dad was deployed overseas from January to November 1999. Military records show he didn't come home once." My stomach dropped. "James, don't." I already called Mom, asked her to come over. "She's bringing Dad." They arrived an hour later. Mom looked terrified the moment she saw the DNA papers on the table. "Boys, what's this about?" Dad asked. James held up his results. "Dad, I need you to explain how your son is 42% West African when you were deployed during the entire time I was conceived." Mom started crying immediately. Not sad crying, guilty crying. Dad looked at the paper, then at Mom, then back at James. His face went through about 15 different emotions in 5 seconds. "Linda," Dad said quietly, "is there something you need to tell me?" Mom broke down completely. "I was so lonely. You were gone for so long. There was this guy at work, Jerome. It only happened a few times. I thought James looked enough like me that no one would ever know." Dad just stood there. 21 years of marriage. 21 years of raising another man's kid thinking he was his own. "Does Jerome know?" Dad asked. "No," Mom sobbed. "I never told him. I let everyone believe he was yours." James looked at me, then at Dad. "Dad, you're still my dad. Biology doesn't change that." But Dad was already packing up his stuff while screaming. "I need some time," he said. He looked at James with a 1,000-yard stare. "I love you, son. This isn't about you, but I can't look at your mother right now." He left that night, filed for divorce 2 weeks later. Our parents' marriage collapsed like a house of cards, all because of that one $29 DNA TikTok test kit. Mom lost everything in the divorce. Dad kept the house, the cars, everything. The judge wasn't sympathetic to someone who'd committed paternity fraud for 2 decades. The best part? Dad, me and James are closer than ever. We still call each other brothers. DNA doesn't define family.